Hey guys, you're watching PRK Radio. If you're new here, I'm Jimmy, KI5PRK. If you've been here before, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. The channel's doing great. I really appreciate all the support that you guys have given. Fantastic comments. My subscribership is really growing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today, I want to talk about a different HT radio. The YouTubes are all abuzz about this little guy, the UV5R Mini, and I did a video too. I think my previous video was actually on this radio, and I have some great thoughts. Check that out. I'll link it up here someplace if I can figure out how to do it. Really cool little radio, and it's so cute. But what if you want more? What if you're looking for more than just a cute little radio? Or what if you're like me and you have a sickness and you can't quit buying these dang things? Today I want to talk about, we talked about the smallest radio, right? Let's talk about the biggest. Yep, this is the DM-32uv from Baofeng, and it's really cool in a lot of ways. This thing will do DMR. It also does analog 2 meter 70 centimeter. It does a lot, actually. And, all right, spoiler alert, I really like it. But it's a chonker. Look at this guy. It's, for scale, and I got a really big head, so here you go. Well, for scale, here you go. Let's do this. Bam. Mini. Maxi. Biggie. Whatever the hell we're gonna call it. He's a chonker. He's a big boy. And you know what? I kind of like it because of that. This thing, in a lot of ways, and I'm about to trigger some people, it's okay. In a lot of ways, this thing reminds me of like the Motorola, like first responder type radios that you see on police, law enforcement, paramedics, stuff like that. I said it reminds me of it. Calm down, Motorola fanboys. Easy, easy. Woosa, woosa. Rub, just woosa. Okay? Count backwards from 10. Deep breaths. It'll be all right. I know. I just think it's kind of cool. It reminds me of those Motorola radios in a lot of ways, just in its form factor, in its aesthetic. And it's a weird one, too. This is kind of a weird radio. It is a big, chunky boy. Speakers on the back. All right, that's weird until you realize, well, you're holding it, and now your hand is just reflecting the sound back to you, so it works out pretty well. The mic is right up front here, this little itty-bitty hole below the keypad. I bought this thing with my own money because I'm not big enough. Nobody's sending me radios. I bought this thing really just because of the way it looks. I like the aesthetic of it. It was something different. I have several handhelds. I admittedly don't use them as much as I probably should. I certainly don't use handhelds as much as you would think, considering how many of them I have, if that makes sense. But this is, to me, just a cool form factor radio. It is super, super comfortable in the hand, especially, for a bigger guy like myself. This thing is pretty, I'll just say this thing's pretty badass. I really like it. Got your on and off knob here and volume knob here right on the front. Got a channel selector knob up front. Like I said, it will do DMR. I'm not there yet. I bought this radio, and I think that's really what I want to talk about on this radio today is who is this radio for? Who are they marketing this to? I think this is being marketed to people like myself who have never done DMR, might want to dip their toe in the water a little bit, because this radio, at the time of this recording, is a really, really good deal. $60 at the time that I'm making this. Link in the description for the exact one I bought. The kit comes with the radio. Hold on, it comes with this goofy thing. I don't know how I feel about this, but this is like a holster thingamabob. You just take the radio and drop it in there. I don't know how I feel about the holster, but it does seem to be functional, and it will hold a radio, and it is a big, chunky boy. So, I think putting a belt clip on this would be kind of dumb. First off, you got this kind of, humpback going on here with the battery. This is all battery and all down here at the bottom, right? So like the lower inch plus all this is battery, and it's held on with a flathead screw, which I think is kind of cool. Holds it in there nice and snug. You drop this radio, it's not coming off. USB-C rechargeable, another big, huge win in my book. That this thing is USB-C rechargeable. You could keep this in the car, plug it in. Almost all of these new modern vehicles these days have a USB port. Plug this bad boy in and keep it charged up. It does the radio things. And I kind of buried the lead. It says it's 10 watts. It's not quite 10 watts, but it's certainly more watts than this guy. I'm not testing this. I don't have the equipment to test this, but others have, and I'm sure you can find those videos out there on the YouTubes after you watch mine, of course, because you always watch mine. You can find those videos out there, and it tests around 8.5 watts on high power, which is not bad, really. And as much as makes no difference, that's 10 watts. It's certainly more than 4.5 or 5. On high power, it tests around 8.5. I think on medium power, it tested, most of the videos I watched show it testing around 4.5, 5 watts. And then on low, it was like a watt or two. So actually, I think that's a pretty good spread. And then I know everyone's going like, yeah, but it's Baofeng, bro. It's clean. No spurs. If tested properly, and I know that's a topic of consternation right now. If tested properly, this guy tests clean. So from all the videos that I've watched, not this particular radio, this model of radio, from all the videos I've watched of people who have tested it for spectral purity, it's clean. It's absolutely clean. So they're getting better. You know, lighten up. I understand the name, but they're getting better. This radio is $60. I didn't even look. What's the next best priced radio that'll do DMR and analog? I don't know. Twice as much, 3 times as much. So I think this radio fits in with the guy like myself who has never done DMR, wants to get into it, and you can with this. You can get started. And is this a gateway drug? It probably will be, aren't they all? But so be it. It's $60. I mean, you drop this. First off, is it Motorola build quality? Probably not. Not many radios are, to be fair. This thing's a tank, dude. I mean, it doubles as a weapon if you need it to. It's a tank. It is rock solid. It doesn't feel light and flimsy, which is what this radio is supposed to feel like because it's so smooth. This thing is the antithesis of this thing. It's the polar opposite, right? If you're wanting the smallest radio on the market, here you go. If you like them with a little girth, just saying, this guy might be what you're looking for. I happen to like it. I love the form factor. What don't I like? I wish you could get it in different colors. I wish you could get it in something other than green. That would be great. But I think it's a great little radio to get you started in the world of DMR. What else good can I say about this thing, and bad? Well, I mean, the font's kind of small, so that's not great. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Here. If I put it in front of my face, will it? No. How about that? Focus. There it goes. So the font's kind of small, but that's all been customized right there. That's not the way it comes out of the box. The way it comes out of the box, all the font on the screen, I believe, is white, and I just couldn't handle that. But I will tell you that as I am making this video, I don't believe it's supported in Chirp. However, there's a free CPS download. So there's programming software that's free from Baofeng's website for this radio specifically, and you can pull it down. It runs on Windows. That's what I did. I pulled that down. I hooked this thing up with the ubiquitous K connector, programming cable. and it worked like a charm. So I'll link the radio and the cable that I used down in the description below, if you're interested. The programming in the software was stupid easy. I mean, it was just as easy as it comes. You can change all of the font settings. There's tons of different options for colors. You can set, the channel name and frequency to a certain color, like you can see that I've done. You can do all of that right here. You can change the programming for these secondary buttons. So let's tour the unit really quick. You got your PTT, and then you got your auxiliary 1 and 2 buttons here. I don't know what they're called. I call them aux 1 and 2. Maybe they have a more formal name, but in the software, these are programmable, and you can tell this what you want it to do. And then after you download it to the radio, it'll do it. And then you got your programming ports right here. So like I said, not much to it. This is the stock antenna. It's not bad. If you're looking to keep this, the kind of the size down, you could run this. Or you could go, get yourself a big boy, flippity floppity do. I think this would really be cool, to be honest with you, and I don't have one, but maybe I'll go buy one. It's one of those big honking Brie antennas. I'll be honest with you, Josh from Ham Radio Crash Course has tested a bunch of HT antennas, and believe it or not, that stupid thing tests really, really highly up on his lists. There's that one, and there's a couple of the Smiley antennas, and the I forget, there was one that was some big honking like telescopic whip that I think is not something you run on the daily, but if you were out in the boonies and you needed to get way out, you'd swap that out for that big honker, make your transmission, make your comms, and then maybe put it away and switch back to the rubber duck. Rubber duck's gonna be a little more forgiving if you drop it or whatever. Again, I think this thing's pretty stout, built like a tank. So it comes with the scabbard or holster, if you will, a 2500 milliamp hour battery, the rubber duck antenna, the belt clip is separate than this, but it just slides right on, and that's pretty much. Oh, and it had a cradle docking station thing I don't use. Why would you? Just plug your cable in. Just plug it in. You could charge this thing with a big ass battery bank. You could charge it in your car. You can charge it off your computer, whatever, right? Off of a wall wart, whatever you got. Just plug it right in, juice it back up. I will say it's pretty good on battery. 2500 milliamp hour isn't anything to sneeze at. Back on programming, again, the CPS software is probably the easiest way to do it. It's not hard to program from the main screen. If you go into the settings, when you're in analog mode, those are your settings. That's your menus right there. And you just drill down. So you can see I built some zones out. Let me see, will it? Focus. There it goes. So I got a 2 meter zone that I'm in. I have a 70 centimeter zone. I built the GMRS zone. Yes, it will. I think it'll hold for on the DMR side. Again, I'm not doing any of that with it yet. I kind of hope to in the future, but I think it will, 50,000 DMR contacts. I know that that's not great compared to other radios. This radio is $60. All right? Quit expecting it to have all the features of the $400 DMR or the $300 or the $200 DMR radio, because it's not gonna. But it will record your radio traffic, which maybe you need that. I don't know that I would ever use that, but I guess it's a cool feature. It will do APRS, like positioning and location reporting functions in APRS, but I believe it's only on the digital side. It's not on the analog side. So that was kind of a bummer letdown, but I don't know. I don't even do that now. So, but if that's something you're into, I could see this being like I said, I could see somebody getting this and only using it for DMR. Maybe it's their first DMR. They're just trying to get their feet wet with it. I see this as a good solution for that to get started. Just a cool radio. I don't know how else to describe this guy. It's certainly bigger than this guy. But most things are, just saying. I thought it was really cool to kind of do a little verses on this. The little beady baby and then the big boy. Okay, this is the big boy on the playground today. It's really cool. I kind of like it. Again, if nothing else, for the aesthetic of it. You can get, I believe, this radio, like I said, right now is $60, and then I believe for another 18 or $20, you can get like a second battery for it if you need it, and that way you can keep one charging and then hot swap it. I think that would be a good buy. I'll link that in the description below. I haven't bought the backup battery for it yet, but if I start using this guy more, I probably will, because I think that would be a smart buy to pick the battery up, the second battery. Then you can just as easily, you know, with a little pocket knife or a dime or whatever, you could take this off and swap the battery out, and then throw the dead battery just on a USB charger while you put the other battery on, and you're still rocking and rolling playing radio. This may be more of a daily carry for me. It might be. I don't know. It's kind of fun. I like it. It's a big mamma jamma. It's got some weight to it. All right, this is not going to be a radio that you necessarily want to hike to the top of a summit with, unless you want to do that kind of thing. But if you're one of those guys that's like uber weight saving dude and looking to cut every gram or ounce off of your pack, this probably ain't for you. But if you're just bebopping around town, you know, or farting around in the woods or whatever, I think this radio gets you a couple of extra watts of power out, and I think it would be a good choice. It's clean spectrally. It puts out good power, does the radio thing. Is it a Motorola? No. Does it kind of look like one? I think so. And that's kind of a cool thing. $60. Go get one. They're kind of cool. What else? I don't know. I can't think of anything else. I think that's going to be a wrap. Listen, the channel's doing great. Thank you guys so much for everyone's support. Seriously, my video on this little guy is going nuts right now, and that's really awesome. I can't thank everybody enough for the support. This has just been overwhelming to me. Picking up the YouTube thing was just part of the hobby for me and something that I wanted to try, and it's really worked out. And I can't thank you guys enough. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, seriously. Thanks to everyone who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. Click the button. Jeez, come on. Hold on, we'll wait. Click the button. Do it. Okay. I'm just being goofy. Seriously, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. It's free to you. Helps me out huge. Hit that like button. Click the little bell if you want to be notified next time I drop a video. Leave me a comment, but be nice. Uh-oh. Somebody's talking. They're not. Somebody kerchunked. Are you kidding me? Why would you do such a thing? Oh, wait, I just did that. You know, but hit like, hit subscribe, leave me a comment, hit the bell, do all the things down below. It'll make you feel good, you know, and who knows, you might win the lottery. Hey, this is going to be a wrap, guys. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Until next time, be good to one another out there. I love you guys to death. 7-3. Well, bye.